Well, hello and welcome. I'm Corinna Astor, and thank you for being here. I am really excited about this week and sharing some energies with you, although I may not be going into the energies in the same way that I normally do. But yeah, lots to talk about and share with you. And just as a reminder, please like this video if you do enjoy it by the end or whatever in the middle, I suppose. And comment too. It really helps me to get the word out to more people. So thank you so much for doing that. And yeah, so I guess first of all, I just want to say I help people get out of stuck, painful patterns and help them step into being the conscious creator that you are. And I'm really passionate about that in so many ways through Chinese medicine, through astrology, through breathwork yoga, ancestral energy clearing, all these different techniques that I've learned that have helped me to become a better version of myself. And I like to share them with you. So, anyway, if you're new to my channel, welcome. So glad to have you here. And for everyone else, thank you. Welcome back. All right, so let's get into talking about some things. Where do I want to begin today? So, I'm just ending a parasite cleanse with a group, and I did two pretty much back to back this fall. I had people asking for another one, and I'm so grateful because, wow, it is really a big deal to give up sugar for 21 or 30 days. And so I just really want to congratulate anyone who does that at any time in their life. And even if you're not sure that you can do that, or if you've never done that, I'm sure you could eventually get there. And I'd love to help you. And what I really want to say about the whole sugar thing is, as we are going into the holidays, I want to talk about some ways to, stay healthy, to stay well, to mitigate these holiday energies. Because last weekend I was outside and I was walking around doing some earthing because, well, I'm always doing my earthing, but I was like, did some long extra earthing because I was feeling a lot of collective sadness. And when I tuned into it, I realized that I was feeling a lot of people really struggling with the expectations of the holidays, just how hard it is if you have family that's passed away or, all these different scenarios, right? If you don't have family, if you're being isolated or feeling isolated, we're all in different situations. Maybe you're in a lot of turmoil in your current relationship or relationships with family is hard. So, it can be a very triggering time. I know a lot of people have a lot of fun and get to celebrate too. And that's wonderful. And I want to celebrate that and all of us that are able to. And even those that do celebrate, that doesn't mean that there isn't some stress and some worry, anxiety, and or triggers that come up along the way. So I just want to honor you wherever you're at and know that you matter and that there's community and people like me that are here for you. So please reach out, let people know that you're struggling and that you're lonely. I was really lonely on Halloween this year. I was feeling sad and sorry for myself, and I just hadn't made a plan to do anything. It was like I'd gotten back from a vacation, I was integrating, and it just really hadn't been on my heart mind to figure out Halloween plans, and then it snuck up on me, and then it was like, wow, I have no plans, and I'm feeling really sad about that. I don't really have any friends at the moment that have young kids that I'm really close to, so I wasn't invited to, hang out with the kiddos, and so I was really missing that, and wasn't sure how to figure that out and navigate that at the last minute. So I've struggled with that, and being somebody who doesn't have kids, whether or not you're at that point in your life where you're an empty nester, or maybe you've been estranged from your family, or maybe you're like me and never really had the little ones around. So we can sometimes go through these things during the holidays, and it's something that we need to at least hold compassion for if it's not us, because there's a lot of people that are struggling. And I know I reached out to a friend, and just her kind and loving and wise words really meant a lot. Anyway, so I wanted to talk though a little bit more about the sugar blues. But really, I want to start out by saying that when we seek out sugar and we seek out these sweet, delicious treats that we're going to indulge in tomorrow, and don't get me wrong, I'm not asking you to like give them up by any means. I mean, my parasite cleanse is ending the day before Thanksgiving for a reason. It is definitely time to end that so we can all have a piece of pumpkin pie or pecan pie or whatever it is that we enjoy. And so I think, it is really a great thing to have that moderate thing in life, and I also what really we need to think about when we seek out sugar is that really initially what we are seeking out is expansion. And so I just shared this with my parasite group recently to really help them reflect on, going forward. And this is good for all of us because no matter what we're going to have tomorrow, we don't want to overdo it really because the thing is that initially sugar expands us. So we go into, this euphoric, blissful state, it hits all the dopamine triggers in the brain and we are feeling really good from all these endorphins and it's a lovely feeling and that's okay to have just sometimes seek out that little bit of sugar for that energy or that joy. And I think, we don't have to make ourselves wrong or feel bad about that we do that. However, even though we initially get this lovely expansion from sugar, what happens is that within literally a few hours, it contracts us. And of course, it depends on what we eat with it. So definitely make sure you're eating your sugary thing close to the time you're eating the meat. So, if you eat meat or, some other plant-based proteins so that way you are definitely going to have the sugar be absorbed and or integrated with the body with more things like something with proteins and fats would be really great so that way your body can absorb it a little bit better and then of course hydrate super well. But yeah, within a couple hours after eating sugary things we get contracted, and so it's a very frustrating roller coaster ride, really. It's that sugar roller coaster that we go on that most of us are always doing because I don't care how much sugar you have in your diet, even if you have a very small amount, which I do, I still have sugar addiction issues. And it's just, I think, part of being in this time period and this culture and most cultures around the world. I've traveled around the world a lot. It's everywhere. So it's very, very much a problem for all of us. And yeah, but what what I really want to get across is that we are all looking for expansion, and that's great. We want to be expanded in life. And so what creates expansion for you in other ways? For me, it's traveling. For me, it's playing music. It's being around friends and family and, cooking. Anyway, there's so many different ways that a lot of you are also looking for that expansion in your hobbies and the things that you love to do. And so, what we need to keep thinking about is that when we're reaching for that sugary thing, that often we are needing and looking for expansion. And so, maybe we're not getting that in some other area of our life. So, we need to look at how we can fill that and be more gentle with ourselves instead of being hard on ourselves and making ourselves again wrong or beating ourselves up for continuing to eat that sugary thing because as I said, if you're crashing a couple hours later then and or if you're having sugar throughout your day, the only remedy really to expansion and or coming back up again is more sugar. This is why it's so addictive. So, and there are studies that say that sugar is more addictive than cocaine. So, this is a real thing that many of us are battling. I see it, and that's why I love helping people to find ways to eat a little bit less. And even if that's just a little bit less, then, you're baby stepping your way there, and that is great. All right, so that was a lot on that, but it is a really big topic. And also, I want to talk about, some of the other things about the holidays. So, one of the bigger things that we deal with too are boundaries. And that is a lot of times to do with family and friends having expectations and or us placing these expectations on ourselves. We can, of course, I mean, we all know that we can do whatever we want, but we really need to realize that we are going into the winter period here pretty soon. I mean, we're in late fall, and with these longer nights and these short daylight hours, at least here in the northern hemisphere, we are needing to go inwards more. This is actually a time to, yes, be jovial. We are going into Sagittarius season. Sagittariuses definitely know how to have a good time. There's a reason there are parties this time of year too. There's nothing wrong with celebrating. Please keep celebrating. And also, we don't have to go to everything we're invited to, right? And we can't usually, if or maybe we just can't show up and also bring the food or whatever else. So, yes, it can be fun and exciting, especially if you're an extrovert and you feed off that. That's great. However, still, we need to make sure that we're getting some of that downtime and we're taking that time to be alone, to process those triggers, to just rest the body. We're again going into winter here soon. So this is a time to replenish our bodies with that rest, with that nourishment, to feed our kidney yin energies. And I'm going to be talking more about this. Okay, those two things out of the way. Also, I'm going to have below here, or at the end here, a link to my boundaries videos. I have a couple of them that I made. I feel very passionate about keeping good boundaries and having those, and it is something that you have to learn. And I really used to struggle with that, and I love teaching about that too. So please check them out. So what else? Well, let's see. I have also been talking about and understanding and listening and researching about timelines lately. So this is a really fun topic. And I really think that we are in a very crucial time from what I'm understanding. We are in a time where we have a lot of choice as humans to create a very positive trajectory here for the earth and for each other. And I really want to let that sink in for a moment. So I'm going to say it again. We are at a critical, crucial time where you get to really help humanity in such a huge way. And I am so excited that we decided to be here together at this time, no matter how crazy things are seeming in the outside world. This is really a very pivotal time. We are in Renaissance times. We are change makers. And we're here to create the new earth. So it is up to you and me to really hold a strong and beautiful vision. And there are lots of negative timelines for the earth that some people may actually be on at some point. And I am not going to be there. I'm just not. Like, this is not part of my reality. And it doesn't have to be a part of yours. And so let's make this the best that we can think of, because there is a lot of creative potential for each of us. We all have that in our charts. I can tell you in different ways how you can be, this really amazing person that can create things in the way that you're designed to be. But the point is that I really just want you to know how powerful you are with your thoughts and with knowing that it doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to be terrible. There's some really amazing videos out there and beautiful people that you can hear more about this topic on, that know things from the channelings that they've received that I think we can all probably receive. We're all capable of channeling. So definitely listen to what your intuition is saying, listen to the downloads that you're bringing forth, and please share them with us, because we're all here to do that. So yeah, I'm just really rooting for a beautiful and, the most amazing future that I could never have even thought possible, because I know already that when I start to think about and notice all the synchronicities in my life that are happening, and I start to pay attention to more of the magic that's happening, and I ask my guides to keep showing me more of the things and bringing in more of the things that I'm wanting, more, better friends, people, better connections, better wonderful clients, all the good things that I long for and or have but want more of, and that, are the things that most of us need and want. But, the more that I am focusing on those and I'm asking for help for those, the more I see of that. And it is really, really fun to see how even just being like, wow, I want to have more laughter. I need more laughter in my life. I haven't been getting enough lately. Please send me more of that. And pretty soon, you find yourself in a group of people laughing hysterically, and it's just great. So, I really invite you to take a lot of time to connect with your guides, even if you don't know anything about them. But it doesn't matter what we know about them, they're there for us. And if we ask them for help, then they can assist us. But until we ask, then uh, it's otherwise just up to us and our free will. Okay, so let's see, a couple of other things. I'm also thinking about starting new traditions this time of year. I know that I think again, everybody's got some triggers around the holidays, and maybe you have already worked through all of these things, and but for most of us there's going to be always something new coming up. Some years are better than others, but there's so many new traditions that we can make to make it into something that we want it to be. So, what could you do for this is right before Thanksgiving that I'm putting this out. So, maybe we don't really have time to totally plan that, but we have the New Year's and the Christmas around and all the other Kwanzaa, Hanukkah holidays. A lot of different spiritual traditions are celebrating in December, different holidays. And we don't even have to participate in any of them, too, by the way. I mean, there could be some other kind of fun tradition. And I know there's a lot of people that do Friendsgivings now for Thanksgiving, and that is just wonderful if that, works for you and isn't just one more stressor or thing that you have to do. All right. So yeah, let's bring some more of that in. And let's see. I do want to talk about the Chinese astrology just a little bit. The year of 2024 is the year of the dragon, and it's going to be the wood dragon. And so we are going to be going into that the beginning of February, but even in October of the year before, we're always starting to get the inklings of the next year cycle. So, like I said, some people are going to celebrate our New Year's here January 1st. A lot of people in Asia, they actually celebrate around the beginning of February. And then there's a lot of people that are more in tune with maybe the pagan traditions, and they celebrate more around the spring solstice. To me, something more in the February to spring solstice really resonates for me, with it being, the dead of winter. It doesn't ever feel very spectacular to me to be starting new goals, and I think that's why they don't always go very far, because I just don't think it's the best time. I think it's the time to be hibernating, germinating, and then yeah, so figuring out what those seeds are, and then internally planting them and then letting them sprout at maybe the springtime, although there's always seeds springing up throughout the year as well. But yeah, we are definitely feeling some of those energies already, so we can kind of see a little bit of that in the world around us, or maybe you're noticing just what's kind of been shifting for you with business and or anything personal. So I'd be curious to hear. Definitely share below what has been shifting for you, because most likely you're going to be seeing more of that in this coming year. And if it's been, some not so good things, then don't worry. That does not necessarily mean that is going to continue. Remember, we did just get to the end of an eclipse cycle. The eclipse energies of the portal energy ended about November 11th. However, eclipse cycles and the changes that happen from them always follow 6 months afterwards. So we'll definitely be feeling the effects and seeing how they ripple out, and things will continue to shift and change through, I'd say like April of next year, or whenever that would be from the eclipses. So that 6 month out period. So definitely just noticing what had started to shift, and or what is again maybe seedlings within you and that needs to change. This is the time to really start making that internal thinking of, okay, what are my next steps? What is my plan? And then, you can begin to do your visualizations and start to take more action steps into whatever that new reality is for you. And I really hope that some of you are thinking about becoming entrepreneurs, because I really feel like this is the wave of the future. I think that people are going to need to find other ways to bring in income. I think there's going to be a lot of companies laying people off, and there's going to be a need for jobs, and there's going to be a need for things in our local communities that we are not going to be able to have access to, that we were getting shipped in and flown in from across the US and across the world. I really think in the coming years that may not be something that's going to be available to us, at least not to the extent that it is now. And I don't think that's necessarily going to be a bad thing. I think it could be difficult for a while, but I think overall we are going to be caring for the earth in a better way. And I think it is about healing the earth, getting back to the earth, really getting away from, plastics and all of this consumerism and waste and nonsense that is really keeping us away from being the conscious creators that we are. So I'm excited for it. I know it's not going to be easy, but it hasn't been easy necessarily this year or any time since 2020, that's for sure. Or, for those of us that really started going, I mean, there was a lot of people that started going through their dark night of the soul more around 2016, which is 2017, somewhere in there, which is when it hit for me. And, we go in and out of that, but we're always going to have these different cycles in life that we're going to be struggling with, but it'll come back up again. If you are in a downward turn on the roller coaster, just know that it will come back up, and you are loved and supported, and just keep asking for that support and help from your community and your guides. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. I am excited to share more with you in the next coming week, and I hope you have a very happy holiday and be really good to yourself. Take lots of good care and many blessings. Thank you again. Thank you for liking, and thank you for checking out my other videos. We'll see you real soon.